Laughing Vikings Live. High vibe chats with actors, comedians, and creators, plus stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and most importantly, you. That's right, join us every Monday for new episodes, and you can be a part of the show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. Ask questions and interact in the comments, and make sure to share this with your actor, comedian, and creator friends so they can be a part of the show too. Can't make a live show? No problem. You can catch up on your favorite podcast platform and visit laughingvikings.com to find out how you can join the cast and crew. All right, it's time for today's show. Buckle up and make sure you stick around to the end because we have a special surprise for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Laughing Vikings Live. Happy Monday Fun Day. Let's go.
Hello, Brandon.
Hello.
What have you done with Brandon? Who's this cool dude with these cool glasses?
I'm just a cool cat stopping in to say, it's 112, baby!
Episode 112. Yes, this is the 1996 R&B episode here. Remember 112? 112, actually you don't. Were you alive then? When were you born?
1991.
So you were 5. Yeah, maybe you might have heard it in the background. 112 was they were a R&B group, but they also performed with P. Diddy and Mace and Notorious B.I.G. Their famous song was Only You, and starts like Diddy starts like, I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. And then it's the smooth, silky voice of, oh, I need to know where we stand. Do we share this special thing called love? I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. And then at some point, Notorious B.I.G. drops a verse. Mace comes in out of nowhere, drops a verse. Good times. I'm dating myself with my 1996 R&B knowledge. But this is episode 112. Welcome. We got a great one here. We're going to talk about 3 things, I believe. We're going to talk about our season finale in Comedy Alley. Ooh, that rhymed. Comedy Alley season finale. We're also going to talk a lot about Tom Todoroff, his weekly workshop, and the conservatory. Brandon and I's experience working with Tom in their studio. And we're going to share some life tips and some tools that we use, specifically a game-changing app called Growth Day. So stick around for all of that. This is going to be a good one. We're also going to send you some referral links where you get some freebies, some free workshops, some discounts on some things. So a lot of gifts coming your way in podcast land. Make sure if you're watching this live right now, I'm looking at you people on Facebook and YouTube. Hit that smash that share button. I almost said hit that smash button. It is not a smash button. It is a share button, but you should smash it. Share this with your actor friends, your artist friends. Get this out there right now. And throughout the episode, feel free to ask comments, ask questions, make comments. And as always, if you have suggestions about a topic for an episode or suggestions for guests, maybe you're watching this right now, Brad Pitt, and you want to be a guest on the show, just fire off in the comments and be like, hey, you should have me, Brad Pitt, on the show one of these times. And we'll have someone reach out to you, and we'll see if you can squeeze you in, Brad Pitt. Nice. All right, so what are we we're going to talk first about Comedy Alley. It's a beautiful thing and also a bittersweet thing. Yep. This past Saturday, October 29th, was our Halloween season finale. So we dressed up in the alley. It was cold. We had single-digit temperatures. Yeah. We were dishing out blankets, but it was lots of fun. And I just want to say a thank you to all of the audience members. We've been running shows since May long weekend here. All the way to the end of October. So about 5 full months, pretty much every Friday, Saturday. I think the number of rainouts that we had due to bad weather were less than on one hand. Yeah. So that was like, we probably did 30, 35 shows. I know we had over 400 people buy tickets, and we've showcased dozens and dozens and dozens of Toronto's best comedians, and they were always magical nights. So thank you for everyone who showed up, everyone who came out to those shows and supported live comedy. We know you've got options. You could just stay home and watch Netflix. So we appreciate you coming out to our little weird alley that could. That's a magical space. You have fun this summer?
Oh, I did. It was a lot of fun this summer. Seeing all the comedians perform and myself getting up there to do a set.
Right. Yes. Brandon made his stand-up debut twice in back-to-back weeks. He had a fantastic first set. He wasn't feeling it as much on the second one. And then I feel like that spooked you a little bit. So I'm excited to see you get back on stage.
Yeah, I'm slowly working back up to do it again.
There's nothing to work up to. I understand why you feel that way, because when something scary happens that doesn't feel good, you don't want to experience it again. But the best way to do it, it's just get back on stage and do it again and do it again. And some go amazing, some don't go. And don't, as always, don't psych yourself out about it being, oh, it's stand up. Go up and tell a story, do a character piece, do a monologue. Just take the stage time. That's my advice to people who are especially more actorly types, where stand up seems like this foreign thing. Just treat it as stage time and take the pressure off. And ideally, people laugh. But if they don't, you don't die. That's the thing that everyone realizes. They're like, what if I blank out? What if they don't laugh? Nothing happens. You're just a guy on a stage and people aren't laughing at you. And then you step off stage and you're a guy off stage and people aren't laughing at you. Yeah, but mainly is have fun. Generally, if you're having fun on stage, the audience feels that energy and they'll be having fun on your behalf. True. So
that is very
that's
true.
my prodding to you, Brandon. Get back on stage. Do it again. I know you're on stage a lot. You're doing a lot of shows right now, but up on another stand-up.
Yeah, I was we were talking last week about how I wanted to work up to 8 shows a week, and how I've been wanting to do that for a very long time, and I realized how far away I was from that. And I don't think I'm as far away as I thought I was. I did 6 performances, 4 of Cinderella, and then 2 of a murder mystery show in 4 days over the weekend, and including Monday. And that was an incredible experience. That was so much fun. Like, just to be able to do that and like keep going. Busy. Yeah. It's been super fun.
Yeah. I had that the week before. I had shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, corporate murder mystery type shows, dinner theater shows, and then stand-up shows on Friday and Saturday as well. So yeah, that's what we all want, right? I prefer to be on set and on stage every day. And if I never had to do anything but be on stage and be on set, I'd be happy. Maybe throw in rehearsals and writing on top of that. But that's the ideal life to have.
That we're striving for.
What's that?
That's the ideal life we're striving for, right?
Yeah. What else? So, go ahead.
Let's talk a little bit about that final show in Comedy Alley, because I really do want to give a huge shout out to you and Sabrina Douglas for really carrying that show. We had a couple cancellations of comics, and you guys both delivered, and you guys really wanted to make sure that audience was satisfied comedically, and you both came out swinging, and it was fantastic to watch. Sabrina did about 40 minutes. You did about an hour and 15, maybe, Lars. And like, it was an incredible night of comedy, and to watch you both do what you love is absolutely riveting and is very inspiring. So thank you both for doing so much for that show. It was great.
The show must go on. So to listeners at home, very rarely happens, but we had a couple comics go down with sickness. Another one had car issues. So our lineup of comedians kind of right before showtime disintegrated. And usually we have 3 of myself, and I do a heavy host, which means I do a little more time than a typical host might do if you were to go to a Yuck Yucks or Comedy Club. Usually they do about 10 to 12 to 15 off the top, and then maybe just a few minutes between the acts, or sometimes no time between the acts, or they might do a little bit of extra time if one comic didn't go over that well, if they need to bring the energy back up in the room, or if a comic crushes, they might need to let the room settle and get back down to baseline before bringing the next comic up, so that everyone's sort of coming up at a clean slate. But yeah, so Sabrina was on the way, and I knew she was going to be coming, but she was getting there a little late. So it was the interesting thing as a host, where I was going on stage knowing that 3 comics were not coming at all, and Sabrina was coming at some point, and I had put up a couple last minute messages to comics that I knew in the area that might be able to pop by. But I started the stage. I started the show not knowing how long and even really who I would be introducing next. So it was just like, go up on stage and just keep going until I see another comic come into the alley. And then it turned out to be Sabrina. But then Sabrina, normally we would do 15 to 20 minute spots. We were just gave her the stretch it out sign, and she did a full 40, which was amazing. I think off the top, I did a half an hour, or maybe, I probably
close to 35, 40 minutes. Maybe
I did. Yeah. It was 8:50. I think we started at about 8:15, and it was 8:55 when I brought her up, and then she did 40, and then I did maybe an extra 15 just to kind of put a button on the end, which you don't normally do as a host. You don't normally do time after the quote unquote headliner. But as it turned out great. Yeah, it was beautiful. I didn't want to end. The shittiest thing would be you don't want to end the season on a lackluster show. So we had to pull it together. Yeah.
And one of my favorite bits was performed that night, Lars, and it's actually a bit that you created. It's one of my favorite things that you've started performing recently, and it got a huge response on the final night of Comedy Alley. I actually have a clip. Yes. You want to say the magic words, Lars?
Well, this video, first of all, I want to say it's one of the stupidest bits I've ever made. It's great. Super dumb.
No, it's awesome.
But it's fun and silly. The clip that we're seeing is actually from 2 weeks ago, where I had to come do my spot, and then I had the jet over to Royal Comedy Theater because I was opening and hosting for Bob Rubin. Which was really fun because I got to come here and go up on stage and get everyone riled up, and then just like a rock star, just get in my limousine and head across town to the next venue. My limousine was what was it? TTC. Yeah.
Nice.
My limo. Nice. I have an underground limousine that travels through underground tunnels. It's pretty cool.
It's great that you're so generous enough to let everyone else use it as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's room. If you're going to have this big stretch limo, it's like, who am I? I don't want to be Bruce Wayne alone in my limo being all lonely. Oh. So I just let the whole city ride for a reasonable price, $3.25. All right, so we're going to roll the clip. This is a clip from Comedy Alley from a couple weeks ago to commemorate our end of season finale.
So this is a Joe Lars Larson original. It's called Going Downstairs. And all my songs are really emotional, like heartfelt. Like, you know, when you see on American Idol and someone tells a long story and they're heartwarming, like they had a harrowing tale of survival, some dead relatives along the way, maybe a sickness. So just pretend I've said all of those things, and then I come on stage and I do this. This is called Going Downstairs. Thank you. That was Going Downstairs, a Joe Lars Larson original, not a cover. I did write that. Thank you. All right, one more quick one here. This is also an original. This is called Going Down the Stairs and Coming Back Up Again. It goes a little something like this. And a 1, 2, 3. Larson original that was going downstairs is coming back up again. You know what? I wasn't going to do a third one, but I'm going to do a quick third one. Rule of 3 in comedy, right? This one's called going down the stairs and getting halfway down and forgetting why you went downstairs, and then giving up and going back upstairs because you don't know why you were going downstairs. But then when you get halfway back up, you remember the thing, and then you go downstairs and you grab the thing you originally went down for, and then you come back upstairs. But then you get halfway back upstairs and realize there was a second thing you could have done while you were downstairs. You could have grabbed that too and get 2 birds stoned at once. So you go back downstairs, grab that thing as well, and then go back upstairs. It is an original. Honey! Oh, yeah. Thank you. That was the Joe Larson original. That was called Going Downstairs. Forgetting why you were going downstairs, then getting halfway back up. Remembering going all the way downstairs, grabbing the thing, then getting halfway back up. Then remembering there was another thing you could have grabbed. Then go back downstairs to grab that, and then coming back upstairs again.
There it is. Riveting.
Great stuff.
I like one of my favorite things. I mean, the third one's a bit of a twist, but the first 2 are just exactly what you'd expect to happen, and it still gets laughs.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that surprisingly gets laughed is that was an original, not a cover. Not a cover. Also an original, not a cover. Yes.
You should say you're putting out an album soon or something.
Right. Musa Ali says, "Where do you from?" I from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Where do you from?
Oh,
wait
they didn't like that.
Wait for it.
You see the emoji?
All right. So thank you for sharing the clip. Again, one more time, thank you to all the people in the neighborhood who have come out to Comedy Alley and support live comedy, support Canadian comedy, and to all the comedians. They've been amazing. They've been magical shows. So we're going to go on hiatus with our outdoor shows for the winter. But if you have a special event like a birthday party, like a corporate holiday party, like a charity fundraiser, like a stag and doe bachelorette, bachelor party coming up where you need some comedic entertainment, you can actually book Laughing Vikings live at your venue. That could be myself. That could be a handful of comics where we'll put together and produce a show for you. And we do shows anywhere from 30 minutes up to 2 hours, and anywhere from 1 comedian up to about 3, 4, 5 comedians, all professional headliners. We can also customize those shows. So if your group is, say, a specific workplace, so everyone works in healthcare, we can book some comedians who either are healthcare workers themselves, like Sabrina Douglas is a nurse, as an example, or we can sometimes customize some of our material to your group and to your event. So in order to get us booked at your event, you can reach out to us, go to laughingvikings.com, or you can send, probably the best way is email us. It's lol@laughingvikings.com, or shoot us a DM on Instagram or Facebook. Give us some details. Pricing as far as those go, it's going to depend on the venue, how many people, what day of the week, whether it's a weekend show or a midweek show, and how long you want us to be there, and whether or not you want anything customized. So reach out. We are available now that Comedy Alley is done for the winter season. We're going to be producing shows indoors, and we can come specifically to you, Laughing Vikings live on tour or Comedy Alley on tour. And your bar, your restaurant, your Legion, your winery, your brewery, your basement, your living room, your ski chalet in the wintertime, all of those things. We are available for those private shows. And we work with so many brilliant comedians that we can customize a lineup for you. So reach out, shoot us a message at lol@laughingvikings.com or shoot us a DM, and we can be there to provide that professional entertainment, because everyone knows the world needs more laughs right now. So if you're looking for some LOLs and some ha-has and some chuckles and some giggles, then Laughing Vikings is the place you want to get it from.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else do we want to mention here? We wanted to get into a little shout out to Mr. Tom Todoroff. Is that correct?
Well, first, before we do the shout out to Tom, let's talk about Growth Day.
Oh, we're gonna do that first. Great. Yes. So I wanted to share some. I wanted to share some of the things that we do. I guess life hacks here. And one of my favorite apps that's been a game changer for me in personal development and personal growth is Growth Day. It's an all-in-one personal growth app. I actually use it. I use it multiple ways. Every morning, Brendan Burchard, who is a world-renowned coach and author, personal growth and personal development expert in human psychology and human performance. I guess you call him a high performance coach is what he is across all fields. He's worked with Olympians. He's worked with corporate executives. He's worked with past presidents, all kinds of top performers. And he's developed this app, Growth Day, which is a brilliant thing. So every morning, one of my favorite things, he does something called this Daily Fire. And it's like a little 10, 15, 20 minute, I guess you'd call it a podcast episode, but he does them every morning. Specifically based on what's on his mind, and he does one every week. So when I wake up in the morning, one of the first things I do is I listen to this Daily Fire that's personal growth and personal development related, just kind of keys your mind and keys your body into feeling good and thinking right. Also, all of my planning and scheduling is in there. There's a part, I'm going to go to it right now. We'll share it on the screen here in a second. But my morning journal, an evening journal is in there. My planner is in there, so you can actually put together, if you have an action plan, like I have, my audition checklist is in here. So I built the checklist so that every time I get an audition, I just walk through my own personal checklist of researching the production, writing out the script, doing my rehearsals, choosing my wardrobe. All of those things are just on my checklist here. I've also got a checklist here for the studio, for Laughing Vikings. It's just a great way to organize everything. Also, there's something called Life Scores, where at the end of every day, week, and month, you can score yourself based on a series of prompts. I'll go into one of them right now. So I'll read them. Just so energy. I managed my mental and physical energy well today. I'll say that was, I'll use yesterday. I'll say that was a 4. Necessity. I felt it was necessary to be my best and made success a must. I'll write that as a 4 yesterday. Productivity. I worked on things that mattered most today. Yesterday, that was a 5 for me. Influence. I guided or treated others well today. I'll say a 4. Courage. I shared my real self, thoughts, and feelings today. I'll say that was a 5. Movement. I avoided being sedentary too long, got enough exercise today. That was a 4. Mood. I felt positive and in a good mood most of today. That was a 5 yesterday. Sleep. I slept well, got a solid 7 to 8 hours. That's a 5. Nutrition. I maintained a healthy diet today. That was a 4. I had maybe a little extra sugar yesterday. Clarity. I knew my why and lived intentionally today. That was a 5. So what those are actually Brendan Burchard's high performance habits. And the idea behind scoring yourself is what you measure. You can't change and you can't improve what you don't measure. So a lot of top performers have some, notice that wasn't super complicated. It wasn't like it was 1,000 questions. But if you're scoring and rating yourself in these high performance categories every day, then You can monitor yourself. When you have an off day, you realize it. When you have a great day, you realize it, and you can applaud yourself. And the other cool thing that the app does is after you score yourself, then there's a button that says see suggestions based on your score. And the app actually suggests in-app courses and episodes that you can take. So when I clicked on that, there was one that popped up that said optimize your health and productivity. So it's a video that Brennan's done about being more intentional with your health and your nutrition and your overall well-being, and some self-assessments. Then there was another thing based on necessity, a video that says start something that matters. So talking about doing things that are important to you and doing things that are fulfilling. So the app's it's brilliant. The other thing is built into the app, there's several courses and challenges that you can get access to. And if we click on this, so if you go to laughingvikings.com/tools, Growth Day is one of the tools that we refer people to. These are our special referral links. So when you sign up through these, it's a way of saying thank you to Laughing Vikings and the Actors Audition Club. When you do use these links, if you were to sign up to any of their paid programs, we get a little referral bonus coming our way. So it's a way for you to help support us. But Brandon, if you click on Achieve My Full Potential with Growth Day, again, it's my favorite app. I use it every day. I use it multiple times. And you see here, Growth Day, achieve your full potential with Growth Day, the world's #1 self-improvement system. And it's brilliant. You can do you can click there for a free 14-day trial. And the things that I would suggest you trial is listen every day to the Daily Fire early in the morning, and then also play with the journal, play with the planning section, and play with the life scores. And you'll start to see yourself feeling better and performing better and improving on a daily basis. It's really all your personal growth and high performance all in one app, instead of having a journal app and a checklist app for your to-dos, and then having a different app for your videos and your online courses and all that. It's all in one. So that's a free trial link right there. If you go to laughingvikings.com/tools and then you click on Growth Day, it'll lead you to this page where you can sign up for that free trial. Brandon, have you used it yet?
No, I haven't.
Finger wagging. I'm finger wagging at you. Yeah, download it. It's and for the paid versions, they have a basic light version, which is like $30 for the entire year. And then they have the pro version, which gives you access to a ton of other courses and replays and personal one-on-one coaching and some group coaching opportunities. That's only about $300 for the whole year. So you're talking like 10 cents a day to $1 a day for all of your personal growth and personal development in one app. So highly recommend it. We never recommend anything that we don't use personally. As I mentioned, this is our personal referral link. So when you do sign up for any paid programs, we'll receive a small bonus as the person who referred you as the referee. But we never recommend anything that we don't use ourselves and that we don't rave about. And Brandon Burchard, there isn't a person better in the world with who's a coach for high performance and personal growth. I've signed up for tons of his courses, tons of his coaching. I'm a member of regular monthly coaching with him. The guy's brilliant, and the fact that he's put so much time and energy to this app is amazing. So could not recommend it enough. If you were to ask me, is there one app in the world that will improve your life more? I wouldn't recommend anything but Growth Day. This is the one. If you deleted all of your apps off your phone and only kept one, Growth Day would be the one that improves your life the most. There, I said it. Yes.
Good pitch.
Starting with you, Brandon. You can get it first. And then we'll, in a couple of weeks, we'll talk about how Growth Day has changed your life.
Yeah. I'm strongly debating it right now.
Don't debate it. Just click on it. It's a free trial. So you do a free trial and just take it for a test drive. And then what I would suggest is, if you love it, upgrade to the oh, there it is. So they've update. So I'm a pro member at the $2.99 and all access. That's something new. I'm not even sure what that one is, but the starter's $49 and it gives you access to all of it. And any one of the aspects of it alone is worth it. Like just the Daily Fire. Like imagine having the world's #1 high performance coach in your ear, a guy who's one-on-one coaching I think he charges like $100,000 a year, or maybe it's $250,000 a year. Like if you want to work with Brendan as your one-on-one guy, like you're an Olympian or you're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, or you're an ex president or a Hollywood celebrity, those people to work one-on-one with Brendan are six figures. He, for keynote speeches at events, he charges $50,000 to $100,000 to come to speak to arenas of people. He's a world's renowned #1 New York Times best-selling author. He's written several books, and you can have him in your ear on a daily basis. So we live in this crazy world where we have access to all these people, and we never would have. Like, you would have had to be a king to have access to other countries' top minds. And now through podcasts and through online courses, we all have access to these brilliant coaches for little to no money. So like for $49 every morning to wake up and have the world's #1 top performance coach in your ear coaching you is pretty spectacular. So highly recommend you take advantage of this stuff. Yeah, there it is. Oh, he's making it. Brandon just did it. There you go. Congrats. Yeah. The daily fires are great. The planners is great. Like on my highest productive days, like the days where I'm like, I fucking crushed it today. It's days where I listened to the daily fire. I did the journal prompts in the morning. I did the journal prompts in the evening. I scored my day, and I followed the plan checklist where the night before I went in and are like, what are all the things I need to get done tomorrow? And then just boom, 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 boom. And it feels really fun to either hit delete when you do it, or to hit the check mark button and fill up your checklist with check marks, and then to delete the whole thing with the job well done at the end of the day. Nice. Brandon, you're on board.
I just started my membership.
There you go.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
What'd you do? You just did a free trial, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Did you do what did you do? Did you do the free trial?
Yeah, I did the free trial.
Nice. All right, so that is Growth Day. Again, shout out to Brandon Burchard and Growth Day. Love it. I couldn't say enough.
I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, it's great. But it's like anything. It's like any tool. It's useless if you don't use it. But get in the habit of it. Like the habits of journaling, of planning, and of scoring yourself are top high performer. Like that's like the 1%. If you want to get in that 1% of 1% high performers, whether it's business or whether it's you as an actor, these are the skills and these are the habits that if you do that on a daily basis, it'll change your life. And it's, I love it. And I love him. Okay, moving on to another mentor.
Someone else that we love.
Yes, someone else that we love, and someone else who's been a mentor and coach and has a huge impact on both Brandon and I, and by association has also had a huge impact on hundreds of actors here at Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club, is Tom Todoroff, through the Tom Todoroff Studio, formerly based out of New York City, but now really it's international, intergalactic, where he's working with actors all over the world. He runs a Saturday workshop, which you've heard us talk time and time again about this. But we wanted to talk a little bit more about Tom today and share some special opportunities that Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club members and friends will have access to. So why don't you start? I know that I introduced you first to Tom, Brandon, and the Saturday workshop. And you've gotten to know him and to know his coaching through the Saturday workshop. Why don't you share a little bit about your experience and what's been working for you and how his coaching's impacted you?
Well, when you first suggested it, I was skeptical. I was very skeptical of doing the first class. I was very skeptical of the technique because I didn't think there was anything more. I was arrogant when I first started, and I thought there wasn't anything more that I needed to learn. And I had listened and had studied with a lot of the people in Toronto, and I wasn't sure what else to do. And I was skeptical of Tom and his teaching and what this weekly Saturday class would end up doing for me. And it has completely changed my outlook on performing. It has helped me elevate my auditions. It has helped me elevate other people's auditions that I work with here at the studio. The technique is, and I've described this before, it is the best technique I've seen with the least amount of contradictions to it. With the Stanislavski technique, there's contradictions. With Chekhov, there's also contradictions. But like, and really what it comes down to, acting, what it comes down to at the end of the day is a lot of personal opinions. And people's personal opinions change from person to person because that's what we are. We have our own dislikes and likes, and we want to see those in other performances. And so when I first started, I remember my very first class, because about 10 minutes in was when I grabbed a notebook and was like, I need to start writing this down. This is so important that needs to be written down. I had never seen anything as well laid out as this technique, with the viewpoints, with his with the vocal variation, with the guideposts, with everything that he talks about, the 3 tenets, the 3 techniques. It makes so much sense. And if you aren't studying, or if you haven't read the audition book by Michael Shirtliff, if you haven't read the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, I highly recommend that you do that, because it will change your outlook on the way that you perform and the way you embrace things in your own personal life.
Right.
When I was studying at Windsor, I remember a story that one of the guest teachers told me about warming up. And like, it's different for each person, because again, as we talked about, everyone has their own personal opinions on acting, and that's what really dictates how you perform and how you do certain things. And I remember everyone in our class would do like 15, 20 an hour of prep, like of vocal prep before then. And my teacher would talk about how there was this one famous actress, and her only prep was lighting a cigarette in the dressing room, because they could do that back then, and just going, I'm ready. And that was it. That was what she needed to do. And again, prep is different for each person. My prep takes about probably maybe 15 to 20 minutes, but it's my own personal prep. That's what I do. That's what gets me into the zone. That's what gets me hyped up to perform. And like, I didn't realize that you could do it your own way, and you have to find your own way in order to get to where you need to go. The Todorov technique helps you get where you need to go in the most efficient way possible.
Yeah.
With any audition, with any character, it's so important.
Just to highlight a couple things you're saying is he's built a framework, and any coach and any teacher, if it's not rooted in some type of framework, like something like almost like at a 1 page, you can look and you can see the philosophy or the framework or the steps or the main themes or ideas. You should be able to see a framework, and that's something that Tom has done a great job with Emily and with the rest of the studio, and with his work from Michael Shirtliff, who's the author of the book The Audition, or just, is it The Audition or just Audition? I think it's just Audition by Michael Shirtliff. So the guideposts especially, and what that is it's really a system or a checklist that's rooted in the science of performance, and the physics of performance, that then you can apply to any scene, any performance, any song, any piece of writing, any stand-up performance, any monologue. You can go through this checklist of guideposts and through the vocal variation and through viewpoints, And it's just like all these little sliders or dials where you can just improve the impactfulness and I guess the how the compelling, you can improve the compelling nature of the scene so that it's firing on all cylinders. And what do we want to see? We want to see something that makes us laugh, makes us cry, makes us afraid, makes us learn, scares us. Like you ideally, when you watch something, it hits on all of those things. That it also maybe fires you up sensually or sexually a little bit, turns you on really. So if you think of all your favorite movies and performances, there's a little bit of all that. Made you laugh, turned you on, scared you, made you cry, made you feel, all of that stuff. And that's, to me, that's, he's put a language to it, and the word is codified or codified, so that it's just there on paper as a system. And the other great thing is the studio itself and Tom itself, in a day and age where there's a lot of negativity and there's a lot of cynicism in the world, and a lot of people, the longer they're in this business, get more cynical and more jaded. The entire ethos of the studio and of his classes are positivity and fun and love, and it is really rooted in fun and love and humor. Are two of the biggest things. One of the biggest notes is finding the love and finding the funny. Funny is money, charming is disarming. And Tom's, in addition to the guidepost and his systems and the framework, Tom has all these, we like to call them Todorov-isms. And some of those, like if you don't even have to work in the class. Obviously working is ideal, but if you just sit and watch Tom work with another actor, between his quotable quotes and his little anecdotes that he weaves in to get a point across to an actor, you can fill a notebook. Like I remember the first time I ever met him, it was a weekend workshop here in Toronto, and I still have that notepad. And the cool thing about it is the notes I took then from the things that he said then are the same things that he's saying now. So it's not it's obviously he's evolved and changed a little bit, but that's also, I think, the mark in a good teacher and a good coach is there should be core themes and rooted principles that aren't changing over time. Because and you mentioned contradictory things. Sometimes if you go to a class and they're saying one thing one week and then they're contradicting themselves the next week, you end up just all confused and flustered, and you're like, well, now I don't know what to think. You just like, I came here and now you fucked my brain up. I don't know. But there's a consistency to it where you're learning the guideposts, you're learning the viewpoints, you're learning the things like relax, concentrate, and imagine. Those are like three core tenets that if you're not relaxed, then you're not concentrating, you're not using the imaginative powers of your brain and your body, you're going to be leaving some performance on the table. So and then the technical aspects, let's talk about the Saturday workshop itself. That every week is really 3 classes in one, where you get about a half an hour text analysis class where Emily, the executive director of the studio, goes through one of the guideposts and goes through the questions that you would ask yourself while looking at the script to flush out the things that you can improve that dial up that particular guidepost and that part of your performance. And then their faculty is all world-renowned voice and speech teachers from Juilliard, from Yale, from Cal Arts, from all of the top from Royal Shakespeare Company in England. People like Andrew Wade, people like
Mary Lou Rosado,
people like
Patrick Mulryan,
who right now is the voice and speech coach for the Harry Potter show on Broadway. So the brilliant thing about conservatory faculty is they're all working actors. They've gone through top level training themselves. Tom went to Juilliard and studied also. I believe he studied directly with Stella Adler at one point as well. So there's a long history of training with them. But then they're all working actors in television and film. And the other brilliant thing about it is he's got equal respect for TV and film and theater, obviously rooted in theater. Everyone talks about how TV and film will make you rich and famous, but theater will make you good. The craft itself is rooted in theater performance, but the Saturday workshop is about as modern as it can be because it's international across the world. So you're learning how to properly perform via Zoom and connect with people through a Zoom lens. And
you're also
through
learning to play in front of a camera, which we
yeah.
didn't have before the pandemic. We just didn't do it.
Where some people will learn, they'll take brilliant classes in a theater and learn great theater techniques, but then won't know what they're doing in front of a camera because there are subtle changes and shifts that you need to make with your voice and with frame and with your movement that are specific to TV and film auditioning. But also right now, TV and film auditions are self-tapes and Zooms. So that's the brilliant thing about his class is you get to learn all of the foundational theatrical technique and craft, but then you get to apply it to today's modern world. And today's modern world of an actor, if you don't know what Zoom is and you don't know your lens and camera and some technical things, maybe a little bit of editing, then you're potentially being left behind as a dinosaur in this world right now. So it's a perfect meld of old rooted foundational techniques and upgraded, modernized technologically so that they really apply in today's TV and film world, especially. So all that to say, if you go to, I don't know if we have our own, there you got tomtodoroff.com. They have a thing where you can audit a free class as a guest, and you can be there as a guest. But make sure when you do that, when you sign up for a class, be sure when you reach out to them, let them know specifically that you're a friend of Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club for two reasons. One, you'll be treated like a VIP and you're going to get the white glove treatment as a friend of Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club. But the second reason is for those of you who want to pursue, so you go and audit a class, you like the vibe of the studio, and you want to join up to regular monthly classes so that you can attend every week and really be committed to your work. There's a big discount that you'll only get if you tell them that you are a friend of Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club. So make sure when you're being onboarded for either the free class or for the monthly classes that you're letting them know, and you'll get a significant discount to their regular rates if you were just someone who met them off the street. So highly recommend Tom. And the interesting thing is, it'll improve your acting life. I think overall it improves your level of just joy and happiness in your life. So there's the acting coaching side of things, but it's also a little bit, not intentionally necessarily, but it's a little bit of life coaching as well, where you can, and I don't know if that's Tom specifically, or if it's just that the guideposts and all the tenets and techniques that he talks about for acting also really apply to your life. And Tom will often say, to be an actor is to be a professional human being. So the more advanced you become as an actor, the more professional you're going to be as a human being living life. There, look who it is. Shout out to Joao Pinho. Joao was also a conservatory mate of mine in Ensemble 10 last year. Joao's from Portugal. And Joao is one of our most recent members here with Actors Audition Club as well. So we're a big fan of Joao. And Joao knows what I'm talking about, preaching to the choir here. It's been a brilliant experience. I met Tom, just to give you my background, I met him at a couple weekend intensives here. First, I audited it a couple times where I didn't want to perform. I was like, I'll just go sit in the audience. Filled my notepad with like 7 or 8 pages of notes. I still have that notepad today. And then right before pandemic, I did another workshop with him where I performed. And then I was signed up in March of 2020 to do it again. That one happened. I think it was the last one that he did right before pandemic. I actually opted out of that one because it seemed like everything was shutting down. And I was like, do I want to sit in a room with 50 people yelling and screaming and breathing and sneezing and all that stuff? So I skipped that one. And then shortly afterwards signed up for the weekly Saturday workshop. I did those for a little over a year, all through pandemic, which was like a game changer and a lifesaver, really, to have that kind of community every week when it seemed like everything else in the world was ceasing to exist and falling apart. It was like acting and art church every week, in a good way. I know for some people, church has negative connotations to some people, but as far as a community getting together about something that they love, real loving and positive and fun community. And then I took it one step deeper, where I attended their summer intensive workshop, which was 7 days of immersive training in New York City, where we got 3 or 4 days of coaching with Tom. And then the other days were jam-packed full of their conservatory teachers. So we had improv classes, we had movement classes, we had Shakespeare class with Mary Lou Rosado. We had several voice and speech classes. I think we had a stage combat class while we were there as well. A little bit of basically a teaser of conservatory is what that's meant to be, but it's also a standalone intensive week-long training. And then after that week-long training in New York, I was like, I want to go deeper. And I have a big sort of personal rule. If I'm getting coaching or training with someone that I enjoy and I like it, I'll go as deep and or as high as I can with that. So if that means starting with a weekly class, then a week-long class, then a full year-long conservatory is what I did, where we were doing 20 hours of class for 8 months, plus rehearsing and learning our scenes outside of that. That was 8 months where I was just like in it. So I always highly recommend, if something is working for you, go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper with that person to get the fullest, biggest experience that you possibly can. But you can start with auditing a class, attending the weekly workshops. If you want to graduate and go to the summer intensive. Are you doing summer intensive this year?
I am going to do summer intensive this year.
So Brandon's going to New York City, which is amazing. Usually now that Broadway's back up, you'll probably have a day where you go see a Broadway show. So you get to really live and experience a week of what it's like to be a New York actor and to be immersed in that New York theater vibe as well. So once again, go to tomtodoroff.com, send them a message. If anyone wants to get any more information from Brandon or I, or pick our brain, feel free to send us a DM and you can ask us about their personal experience. But you can get that. You can audit a class for free. And then when you do sign up, which I would highly encourage, the rates are very, very reasonable for the level of training that you're getting as world-class training. And also the other thing is, if you miss the classes, they record all of them. So there's a massive archive of voice and speech classes. That's actually something to mention. One of my favorite things is when it's a big audition day or a big performance day for me, I'll go into the archives and I'll pull up Mary Lou Rosado or Andrew Wade or Patrick Mulryan or Paul D'Agostino, and I'll pull up their voice and speech workout, and they'll do a full floor work, breath work, and then all of your voice and speech and your articulators and the tongue twisters and all of that to get yourself primed like you would if you had a big Broadway show and you had to get ready for the stage. And I've been doing those before stand-up shows, before auditions here. So if you ever miss it, that's the thing. Sometimes you invest in a class, and part of you not investing is you don't want to commit because you're like, can I even commit? Do I have the time for this? And so if there's Saturdays where it doesn't quite work, you can just catch it on a Sunday or catch it on a Monday or just on demand, really, when you need to. They cut them all up into clips. Brandon's involved with editing some of those clips where there's a whole archive of lessons. So you can just, on any given day where you're feeling you need some extra coaching, you go into the archives and it's just little snippets, 2-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute, 6-minute coaching lessons, or bigger lessons where you can watch a whole block of training and you can see Tom work with someone on a monologue from start to finish, and you can see the full transformation. That's one of the brilliant things about the classes that was really impressed upon me early on. I was like, holy shit, from someone's first take to working with them for like a half an hour to then doing a second or third take, it's night and day. And you'll see something go from like kind of it was okay to, oh shit, this is like, now this is cooking. This scene is cooking. It's way more fun. It's way deeper. It's way stronger in very, very, very short amount of time. And you can consume those like a podcast or almost like a TV show, or jump in the pool and actually be performing yourself, which is what I highly recommend. But good to start auditing and just get a feel for it first of all. Yeah. So shout out to Tom, Emily, and the whole studio. And actually, one more thing I'll show you here. This is
What could it be?
One of my favorite pieces of paper of all time.
Oh, right, bringing out the conservatory.
Yeah, this is my conservatory. So I have an honors BA in kinesiology from the University of Western Ontario, which I never used. And I also have a diploma in acting from Tom Todoroff Studio's Acting Conservatory, Ensemble 10, which I've used already in the 6 months since I've graduated. I've used this piece of paper and the knowledge I gained from the training way more than I ever used my 4-year university degree. So I'm proud of that. And it's one of the for anyone who's like not young, if you're thinking, oh, I'm too old for training or I'm too old for conservatory, one of my favorite and most proud things that I ever did in my life was going back as 40. I guess when I started, I was 43, 44-year-old throughout the course of the year to make that commitment. And really what that is, any training, it's equally a commitment in yourself and in your own art of showing up as it is a commitment in that teacher. A lot of people sometimes are like, oh, is this the person for me? Are they going to have all the secrets? When really often what it is when are you going to make a full commitment in yourself and in your own training, regardless of who the teacher is? You're the one who's got to show up every day, and you're the one who's got to do the work. And that's where a lot of people let themselves down. It's not the teacher. The teacher can be amazing, but if you don't show up to the classes, and then if you don't implement that learning, then it's all for naught. So and Tom talks about that as well, the art of showing up. Like half of life, or maybe even more than half of life, is just, do you show up? Are you there week in, week out? Are you reliable? Are you committed and committed to yourself? Yeah. So commit to yourself. So it was a great episode. We talked about Comedy Alley. If you're looking for pro comedians at your event, at your Christmas party, holiday party, birthday party, stag and dough, charity fundraiser, hit us up and we can book you a pro show anywhere from 30 minutes up to 2 hours. That could just be me, or I could be hosting a whole show of professional comedians. Also, check out Growth Day. That's a game-changing app. And the last thing we just talked about is go audit a free class, Saturday workshop with Tom. And if you want to go deeper with Tom, which we highly suggest, you'll get a deep discount in their monthly rates by mentioning that you're a friend of Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club. And I'll let a little cat out of the bag here, is we have it in the works. We're going to ideally, I was just talking with Tom and Emily last Friday, and if we have the numbers, we're going to arrange a special private workshop where it'll just be Tom and all of our Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club members and friends. So we'll actually put together a special workshop at a special date and time. So for those of you who are interested in that, if you're already a member with Actors Audition Club, or maybe you're just hearing this on the podcast, if you want to be a part of that special workshop, that'll be potentially separate from a Saturday workshop, raise your hand and let us know. We don't have an official sign-up list yet because we don't have the date for that. But Tom and Emily are down for it. We just got to make sure that we have enough critical numbers to make it worthwhile to have a special class. And we'll do that where it'll just be Actors Audition Club members and all our friends and family and all of our actor types in one special intimate workshop with Tom, where he'll hop on us and we'll be doing it just for our members. So let us know, send us a DM or an email that you want to be on board, and stay tuned for the formal opt-in for that with the dates and the times coming up, so you can be a part of that life-changing coaching. Right. And Joao says, thank you for inspiring Vikings. Thank you, Joao. And Joao, if you're still watching, we're also overdue for our regular monthly member meetings too. So I got to get back in the habit of scheduling those, because that's something that was promised to all of our members, to do a regular monthly Q&A and a monthly meetup where we can share victories, ask questions directly with you guys over Zoom. And we will do those. And for the month that we missed, we'll maybe double up and do a couple in a month. So again, that's your opportunity as a Actors Audition Club member to ask us questions and get some specific coaching for your specific questions, share victories, share resources, lean on each other as a community, because it takes a village. In life, you can be a lone wolf and you can go at this career on your own, but you'll have a lot more fun being part of a community, which is why we love Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club, because we get to do this together with people. We get to build a community. We get to share victories. And we love the idea that that rising tides lift all boats. So rather than see someone else succeed and be like, oh man, how did they get that thing? Why do they deserve it? We're never like that. We're always celebrating everyone else, and we're always giving people shout outs. Because you see someone succeed close to you, then that's just a indication that the universe is aligning around you, and success and your goals are coming closer and closer to you, because you're seeing proof of other people do the things that you want to do around you. So that's a game changer. If you're the type of person that sees someone else succeed and then you're begrudging, oh, why'd that guy get it? Don't switch that to be like, oh, thank you, universe, for showing me proof that what I want to achieve is possible. And if that guy can do it, I can do it too. That's what we're all about here at Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club. Ooh. All right. Thank you so much. That was episode 112. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. Next week, we got 113. Ooh, that's a good one. 113. Lucky number 13. Lucky number 113. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So do all the things. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, share this out with your friends, give us a review on your favorite podcast platform, and stay tuned for next week. We will be back.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.